So after the Shmai, every year we try to take a different one of the Al-Chaitz, different one of the sins that we enumerate on Yom Kippur 10 times in our Viduyim, and try to be able to understand it a little bit more deeply, to be able to have a Havana and understanding what we're actually asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for forgiveness for. So I'd like to, Mirz Hashem, work on today the Ve'achet Shechatanu Lefanecha, and for the sin that I've sinned in front of you, Be'imutz Halev. It's one of the first ones, with literally through hardness of the heart. Be'imutz Halev, hardness of the heart. So if we take a look at the Vidui in the Art Scroll, very beautiful understanding and explanation, he writes in source 1, we have refused to admit we might be wrong. And in the explanation he writes, we have the attitude of I'm always right. Such arrogance gives birth to stubbornness in refusing to admit our shortcomings and to lack of compassion for the needs of the poor and the infirm. God gave us free will to do so that we can make intelligent choices, not so that we should refuse to see the truth. Rav Meiflish, in his Vidui Sefer, quoting the same idea, anytime that we harden our hearts toward people who are in need, that is part of the sin, right? It's complex, it's not just one idea of Imutz Halev. Part of Imutz Halev, and this is not the part we're going to be speaking about today, so I just want to mention it now, is that when I see somebody who needs help, and I harden my heart and say I'm not going to help them, or a poor person who needs an extended hand and I'm not going to help them. Or, he notes, that somebody needs charity and you give them the charity, but inside you're upset and you say, I can't believe I just spent my money on this person or on this organization. That's Imutz Halev, that's the hardening of the heart. And any type of achzarius, any type of cruelty, where I don't extend my hand, shelo azar l'chavero b'tzarato, where my friend needed help, right? Somebody was, in a difficult medical situation or overwhelmed, and I knew about it, and I had the ability to help them. I just was, like, oh gosh, them again? They always have problems. Like, how much can I help them? That type of relationship, that type of feeling, that's Imutz Halev. That is logical. That is, we all look through our own lives where we've had opportunities to help every person in their own situation, and where we harden our hearts. That's the easy part. The one that I'd like to focus in on is the part that the Vidui Art Scroll notes we might have refused to admit we might be wrong, and the language of Rav Meiflish, she'imet libo lo lashuv b'tshuva, we harden our hearts where we refuse to do tshuva, acharei asiyat havera, after we've done an avera, v'lo pag libo linachem al hara, and we don't even feel bad, we don't even have these feelings of remorse for what we have done. And included in this is our heart in our hearts where we refuse to listen to our teachers, our rabbis, our parents who have tried to bring us on the right path. Imutz Halev, hardening of the heart. Now the fascinating thing about this hardening of the heart is, as Rav Moshe Aaron Stern in the Sefer for the Mashgiach's Heart notes, he says we know that the whole idea of blowing the shofar is the pasuk in Amos of Hayitakash shofar ba'ir va'am lo yachradu. Should a shofar be blown in a city and inhabitants should not tremble? It was so simple for everyone to understand that when the shofar was blown, it's a time of trembling. It's very surprising that today we blow shofar, and I turn around the Beis Medrash, I see very few people shivering. What I'd like to try to speak about today is this nekuda of how is it possible that we have such hardened hearts. Meaning, Me'olam tamati, says Rav Shardon in 4, Madu b'dorenu nechlash kochach pachad meyom hadin. And I think it's two sides of the coin that I'd like to try to examine today. Side one of the coin is, we're in the middle of Aser Simei Tshuva. We know that the entire year rests on the decisions made in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And we know, as Rosh Padron continues in Kol Dodi Dofek, that when we look back at the previous year, things have not been smooth, whether in our parnasa, whether in our health, whether in the things around us, in situations around us. I mean, I think all of us can look at, in our own mind's eye, in the news, over the last few months, and we've seen almost all of the Unasana Tokef coming to life, whether it's Mibas Sreifa a few weeks ago in Eretz Yisrael, a young man, 46, his car blew up, and they had to identify him by his dental x-rays. He left 13